The temperatures may be cold now, but it is never too early to start planning for that summer vacation. What about a week-long outdoor excursion that attracts visitors from all 50 states and several countries? This July, you can experience 6 days of cycling across almost 500 miles of terrain in the world's oldest, longest bicycle ride. Look no further than Iowa to find this amazing adventure known as RAGBRAI, the Register's annual Great Bicycle Ride across Iowa. Throughout the past 40 years, hundreds of thousands of riders have ridden thousands of miles across America's 29th state to experience the land known for its friendly residents, vast farmlands, and hearty Midwest cooking. My name is Charity Edgar, and as you will quickly learn, I am a shameless promoter of my home state of Iowa and its great bicycle ride. It all started in the early 90s. When I was younger, RAGBRAI rode through my town, and my Girl Scout troop happily capitalized upon the opportunity to sell refreshments to grateful riders. That day ended up being so much more than just a chance to raise money for camp, though. Hundreds of riders purchased our homemade popsicles and enjoyed lounging under the surrounding shade trees. RAGBRAI takes place during the hot Iowa summer, after all. They told us about the route thus far. Garner, my hometown, is located in north-central Iowa, just west of Clear Lake, where the music died for all you Buddy Holly fans out there. I remember that year, the governor was riding a leg of RAGBRAI. I was going to highlight that Lance Armstrong has participated in RAGBRAI several times, but in light of recent events, I'm just going to skip over that part. Years earlier, I vividly recall being jealous my brother and father spent a whole week doing RAGBRAI, but I was too young to participate. Apparently, my parents did not believe that my strawberry shortcake bike could make the 450-plus mile trek. In the summer of 2008, before I moved to DC, I decided to participate in RAGBRAI as a final farewell to the Hawkeye State. My friend and I packed up some bags, disassembled our bikes so they would fit into boxes for easy shipping, and headed west to begin our journey. It should come as no surprise that as a native Iowan, I jump at the opportunity to showcase my state. RAGBRAI is the perfect way to experience the beauty of Iowa and the friendliness of its residents, while encouraging an active lifestyle. Whoever says Iowa is flat has clearly never ridden across it on a bicycle. Oh, did I mention there's beer involved? RAGBRAI is the oldest, longest bicycle ride in the world that takes the adventurer across Iowa and introduces them to the state's scenic beauty, friendly residents, and is a must-do on every active explorer's bucket list. Looking for an adventure this summer? Try RAGBRAI. For 5 decades, adventure seekers have been enjoying the sights, sounds, and experiences Iowa has to offer through RAGBRAI, a world-famous excursion that started as a simple bike ride of 3 colleagues and friends. RAGBRAI has grown to a journey made by thousands, covering hundreds of miles each year, with friendships forged along the way. Of course, the delicious food fresh from the farm doesn't hurt either. It is an enjoyable but challenging trek for those looking for an epic adventure. When 2 columnists at the Des Moines Register embarked on a bicycle ride across Iowa in 1973, they had no idea they were paving the way for historical tradition that would be enjoyed annually 40 years later. This July, you too can participate in an adventure that involves 6 days of cycling across almost 500 miles in the world's oldest, longest bicycle ride. According to the official history page on RAGBRAI.com, it all started as a challenge between some colleagues at the Iowa newspaper, the Des Moines Register. Feature writer and copy editor, as well as avid bicyclist John Karras, and Don Call, columnist, decided that they would be riding their bikes across Iowa and write columns from that perspective. After approval for the managing editor, Public Relations Director Don Benson was brought on board to coordinate the outreach. Only 6 weeks' notice was given to the public, so the turnout was light on the first 6-day excursion. Due to a lack of formal planning, lodging was not solidified for the wary travelers. As a result, The newspaper colleagues and 116 of their closest friends could be seen pitching tents in a variety of locations, including the Des Moines Naval Reserve Center and on the lawns of overbooked motels. Iowans are nice like that. Only a few hundred spectators cheered on the cyclists at this first week, but word traveled quickly about the ride. The RAGBRAI.com history page attributes this initial success to Clarence Pickard of Indianola, Iowa. Pickard was 83 years old and had not ridden a bike in years. He famously showed up to that first ride with a used lady Schwinn and rode in 100-degree heat in a long-sleeve shirt, pants, and woolen long underwear. The intrigue for the ride grew, and the Des Moines Register received request after request from those pleading for another ride. Thus, the second A in RAGBRAI annual was incorporated, and years later, preparations are being made for the 41st event. Since its founding, no two RAGBRAI routes have been the same. However, Midwestern hospitality, delicious food, good entertainment, and great company continue to be a staple annually. Throughout the past 40 years, hundreds of thousands of riders have ridden thousands of miles across America's 29th state to experience the place known for its friendly residents, vast farmlands, and hearty Midwest cooking. Towns and cities in Iowa anxiously await to be selected as a route stop, or even better, one of the 6 overnight destinations. This gives the residents a chance to showcase their businesses and community, and best of all, to provide their hometown an economic boost. As you may remember, in 2008, Iowa had devastating floods that crippled towns and cities. One of the towns, Tipton, had been declared a presidential disaster area only a month before the ride, but managed to salvage what they could to show the world they were resilient by remaining a part of the route. There was an outpouring of support, and that day, riding through there, I was proud as ever to be an Iowan and a part of RAGBRAI. Now, before I start choking you up too much, let me tell you about the second best part of RAGBRAI after people, the food. There's a group of riders each year, so you can register as a team, and there are people who've been doing this together for decades. One group is famous for sampling as many Iowa pies as possible. Now, how they manage to eat all those pies while riding between 30 and 100 miles a day is beyond me. Churches, diners, Girl and Boy Scout troops, there are hometown food venues at every corner. This is important, of course, because riding a bike all day certainly works up one's appetite. After a long day of riding, it's time to relax, have a few beers, and enjoy the entertainment available. There are concerts and festivals eagerly awaiting riders at the overnight destinations. In 2008, I got to see Styx, which was pretty great, since in marching band my senior year, we performed a bunch of their songs. All the while you're stuffing your face with all that great food and enjoying your hard-earned beer, you're meeting people from all around the state, the country, and the world from all walks of life. It is truly amazing to share an experience like this. Strangers become friends, and friends become family. It is great to have support on this trek because it is not for the faint of heart. The temperatures may be cold now, but it is never too early to start planning that summer vacation. What about a week-long outdoor excursion that attracts visitors from all 50 states and several countries? RAGBRAI is not for the passive, hands-off traveler. It is an intense 6 days of sweating, cycling, sweating, and, you guessed it, more cycling. RAGBRAI encourages riders to train for this event. After all, it is almost 500 miles of intense exertion in less than a week. Start riding now and you have a full 5 months to increase your mileage, making your RAGBRAI journey more enjoyable. RAGBRAI.com also strongly suggests cyclists use road bikes for this distance trek. Take it from me, someone who rode a hybrid, that they are right. However, in 2008, I also saw a man riding a 1-speed and a family of 5 on a large tandem. That said, you can do it, but I would not recommend it. Trust me, your journey will be tough enough. You get to take part in a historic ride while absorbing all the sights and sounds of the great state of Iowa on a physically challenging but extremely rewarding 6-day journey. RAGBRAI is the oldest, longest bicycle ride in the world that takes the adventurer across Iowa and introduces them to the state's scenic beauty, friendly residents, and is a must-do on every active explorer's bucket list. Its colorful history, combined with the sights and sounds of Iowa's towns and an unmatched physical challenge, are the perfect vacation for any adventurer. Only 5 months until RAGBRAI 41. That is just enough time to enter the lottery. Yes, there is such a high demand for the RAGBRAI experience that there is a drawing to determine participation. So begin training and prepare yourself for a week of fun, food, and friends, all on a bicycle. Some may not consider Iowa a vacation destination, but they are missing out. RAGBRAI is the adventure of a lifetime. Unless, of course, you get addicted after your first experience. Then it is the tradition that can't come soon enough each year. I'll see you out in Iowa this July.